It's going.
Now it's started. Okay.
Ooh, how do I look? I'm gonna have to redo that anyway. Stop.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video. I'm going to be talking about how I got into Vanderbilt University. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I'm excited for this video because it is the first video in my back to school series. So I have a lot of school related videos coming up, which is going to be a lot of fun. And this is the first video I'm recording on my brand new camera. Just some basic stats. Vandy has like a 10% acceptance rate. It's ranked 14th in the country as far as colleges go. So you could call it pretty prestigious. Some people like to call it the Harvard of the South. I personally prefer to call Harvard the Vanderbilt of the North, but you know, that's an argument for another time. Anyway, like I said, super prestigious, 10% acceptance rate. Some of the average like scores to get into Vandy, I think it's like a 32 or 35 median ACT score. Average GPA is like, I don't know, let's look it up. Average scores to get into Vandy. Average SAT score is a 1530. We don't really take the SAT in the South. And the average GPA to get in is a 3.8. So you're looking at some pretty top-notch competition there if you're trying to go to school, but that's okay. I'm about to tell you all my tips and tricks and secrets. And we're just going to start by just going down my resume. I'm going to just, take you through the highlights, tell you what I did, how I got in, and hopefully you can too. Okay, so first I just have to give you a general tip. You have to take this wherever you go, for whatever school you're applying to, for whatever you're doing in life, and that is hype yourself up. And I cannot stress that enough. Like, you have to be your biggest hype man. Everything you do, say it like it's the greatest thing you could have ever done in the entire world. Like, you have to talk about it like you're a superhero for doing whatever you just did. And then other people are going to believe you, and they're going to be like, oh wow, she's so right, she's so good, I want her. And that goes for schools, that goes for jobs, that goes for internships. Hype yourself up. And on that note, during this little session, I might sound a little bit full of myself. I'm not full of myself. I'm getting back into this application mindset. I'm going to be a junior now, so this whole applying thing was a little while ago, but I still remember. I remember what I did and how I got in. So yeah, taking a look at my resume. So first things first, what they're going to look at first, your school. I went to a magnet school in my city. It also happens to be the #1 school in the state of Tennessee, the #5 school in the United States. So things like that, those are automatically going to give you an edge up over everyone else. Obviously, everyone can't go to the #1 school in their state. If you can't go to a super good school, that just means you have to do more at whatever school you're at. Number 2, I'm not going to number all these because I'm not going to remember what number I'm on. I was also a valedictorian at my #1 school, so being a valedictorian anywhere, that's going to increase your chances of getting into a good school. And I talked a little bit about ACT scores earlier, how they have a 32 to 35 range. My ACT score was in the 30s, so again, pretty on track there.
Hey guys, it's me. Just wanted to mention that if you don't have a 32 to 35 ACT range, that's fine. I know kids at Vandy who have 28s on the ACT. So if you're not in that range, don't worry. Just focus on standing out in other ways.
Those are just the basic things that they're going to look at to make sure you meet the basic requirements to getting into school. And then after that, there's a lot of people who can do all of those things. So after that, they're looking to more specific things like leadership, service, extracurricular activities. And that is really where you make yourself stand out of the crowd. Okay, so we can start with leadership. Leadership, super important, super good way to show that you belong at a top institution. I started having leadership rules my sophomore year of high school. I was my class's vice president, and then I was also my class's vice president my junior year of high school, and then my senior year of high school I was the student body president. So it was pretty clear that I was a leader by that point. But I also did some other things if student government isn't your thing. I'm pretty sure every state has like girls' state or boys' state, and those are like a week-long summer government-sponsored camps,
but not like a concentration camp.
for lack of a better word, for like top performers in your school, and you have to apply, and I think like every school selects like 2 people or something like that. I don't know. But look into that for your state, and then ask like your counselor or whatever about girls' state or boys' state, because that is a great thing to put on your high school resume. Within girls' state and boys' state, you can also win like fake leadership positions. So like I was elected my city's judge, and then I was also elected Speaker of the House. So those things on my resume. Like I said, everything you do, like they need to be like, wow, she did this and this and this and this and this and this and had a 4.0 GPA and blah 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 blah. Like, hype yourself up. The next thing that is also super important is like service clubs. I was in beta. That was the one that I was most heavily active in. And then again at beta, like they have a lot of competitions that you can do like when you go to a beta convention. So if you can do any of those, place in any of those, add those to your resume. You just got to stack these things up. Like, show that you are a well-rounded individual. I should have used that word earlier, well-rounded. Schools love a well-rounded candidate. So hype yourself up, be well-rounded. Say, I can do anything, and make them believe it. Another thing, get involved in academic clubs as well, because every school obviously is not weighted equally. Some schools are more higher achieving, some schools aren't. If you're involved in academic clubs, that kind of shows that your 4.0 GPA at a school that might be considered easier isn't just like because it's easy. Like, you're showing that you're also like interested in academics, that you're passionate about academics. So like I was in National English Honors I was in National English Honor Society, which is ironic because I cannot speak the language. I was also in National Spanish Honor Society, and then I was just in regular old National Honor Society. So like honor societies, I think they're still impressive maybe, I don't really know. And then I was in Spanish club. Yeah, foreign languages are also great. Take 4 years if you can. Also, I just really love languages, so I just think everyone should minor in a language, learn a second language. But that's just, my little 2 cents.
Forgot to mention something super important, and that is AP classes. I want to say I took like 7 or 8 AP classes throughout high school, which isn't like a ridiculous number, but like all my other classes were like the highest classes that I could have taken. And then this is also another thing about like the type of school that you go to. Some schools don't have a wide variety of AP classes. Some schools only offer like 1 or 2 AP classes. If you go to a school like that, then it's just important for you to take the highest level that your school offers. So take the honors or the advanced honors class, take the IB classes, take the AP class if they're there. But if they're not there, you just have to really show that you are maximizing and taking full advantage of your opportunities. So yeah, don't stress if you can only take 2 AP classes, because it's not fair to judge like 2 different candidates from like a school that offers 40 AP classes and a school that offers 2. And colleges take that into account. So yeah, just do whatever you can where you are.
And then also, like, you don't want to seem just like a nerd, so join like fun clubs too. My freshman year, I was in Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and then I think my sophomore and junior, maybe senior year, I don't remember, I was also on the robotics spirit team. Now that was a kicker, because let me tell you, I'm not a math person. I don't like math. It's not fun or easy for me. So like when I saw robotics on the list of clubs, I was like, I'm not doing that. But then my friend was like, oh, there's a spirit team. I was like, okay, so I get to put robotics club on my resume and just be on the spirit team. When you have to finesse college, I'm telling you right now, it's all about finessing. It's all about hyping yourself up. And then on my resume, I also have a list of things that I did outside of school, because you want to be involved in your community outside of school too. So let's see, I'm gonna just read off the list for you. I was in my church's youth choir. I was in another youth choir. These are actually not all outside of school. I also played sport in high school. I was on the cheer team for 2 years, and then before I was on the cheer team, I tumbled and did gymnastics outside of school. I'm saying resume, and I don't really submit resumes for college, but like you can put all this stuff on your Common App, and if you play a sport outside of school, put that in your Common App. Like make sure they know that you do stuff. And then I also played the piano, the ukulele. I was in a musical, and then I was in some other plays, and I was an editor for my school's literary magazine. So yay, we love school involvement. Whew. And then I talked about community service already, but I have a lot of community service listed on here. Okay, I feel like a lot of us, we don't think about what we're doing as community service all the time, even if it technically is community service. If you're doing something to help the community and you're not getting paid, like you can count that as community service. So like I have on here, I was a vacation Bible school counselor. I helped in the Special Olympics. I decorated elementary school classrooms. I volunteered at like my school's trivia nights and stuff. Like you just gotta fill that thing up. Show them how much you do for your community. And then I also have some awards on here. Awards are a great way to show that you are excelling in things that you are passionate about. So like I got an honors English award my freshman year, so that's on here. Oh, a club I didn't talk about, youth and government. I was also super active in that. And I got an award at that convention for having an outstanding resolution. And then I also have this robotics competition award on here. But I'm pretty sure that award was for the spirit team, so like, you know, I'm not like faking that or anything. And then I have some awards that just say like straight A's, whatever. Yes, the point is, talk about everything you do. Like these days in high school, we're all so busy. I'm not in high school anymore. You're all so busy all the time. You're always doing something. Make sure they know that you're always doing something. Like don't let all of your activities go in vain. Or at least I was always doing something. But I feel like y'all are complaining on Twitter all the time, so you're probably always doing something too. Okay, and then the last most important part of your application. This might be more important than anything I just listed off. But your essays, immaculate. I don't know if I used that word appropriately. I cannot stress this enough. You have to show who you are in your essay. Like your essay has to like pull some heartstrings. You have to be genuine, you have to be passionate, you have to be authentic, you also have to be grammatically correct. I'm gonna be honest, writing, I'm good at that. When I finished my essay, I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get into this school. And this, I'm telling you, I'm not conceited, guys. I'm not. On a day-to-day basis, this is not how I talk. But when you're applying to college, you have to hype yourself up. Like you have to literally make yourself seem like the best possible option. So just some general tips for writing essays. Okay, so obviously you want to write about yourself. Don't write about your friend, don't write about your sister, don't write about your grandma. Nobody cares about that stuff. Nobody cares if your best friend went through a really tough time and you were there for her. Like, no, write about yourself. I find the most successful essays, usually, they talk about some sort of inner transformation. So like in my essay, very generally speaking, I talked about how I had this problem with myself and I was really insecure about it. It just really like limited what I was able to do and how I was able to just perform as a human being. But then I talked about how I realized that, wow, I'm not the problem. You are the problem. Whatever. I'm not going to get into details. But basically, I had this problem. I had this, what's that word? I had this self-epiphany. And then I changed how I acted and like what I did because of that. And then take it a step further and show that you're doing something to help other people in the same way that you were struggling. I had to write a senior thesis to graduate from high school. And so in my Common App essay, I was like, and now my senior thesis is dedicated to this idea of helping other people who might be struggling with this thing that I did, because I'm passionate about this issue and I'm empathetic for other people, towards other people. Whew. I have empathy for others. So yeah, in your essay, you have to be passionate about something. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't write about that time you went to visit Africa and now all of a sudden you feel bad for black and brown people and you want to change the world and make the world a better place. Don't write that essay. I think that's all the parts of the application process that I can remember. If I forgot something or if you need any tips, comment below and I will get back to you. school is so fun. Vandy's a great school. If you're trying to apply, come visit sometime. Maybe you'll see me around campus. That'd be weird though. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, anchor down. If you're not if you're new here, go ahead and stop.